welcome back to Thursdays with Charlie. This is the 14th of October, and it's not actually, we're filming this early. This is actually being filmed on the 10th of October. It's 3:42 in the afternoon. All of our guests have just got home after the dedication ceremony, and I'm here with Father Garces and our beautiful Colorado River. We're going to devote the Thursday show this week to looking at some scenes from our dedication ceremony. We had the governor of Nevada here, we had the bishop of the Diocese of Las Vegas, we had the architect who designed our building. We had a lot of wonderful guests, and we're so grateful for coming out. We hope that you'll enjoy this little video preview and post-view, I guess would be the word, of our Garces Center dedication, which took place at 2 p.m. on Sunday, the 10th of October, 2021. Thank you for joining. Enjoy the video.
Would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Prepare. Post. Right. Face. Forward. Heart.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Almighty and merciful God, you sent your servant, Father Francisco Garces, to minister to the souls of those of your children in the vast wilderness of the developing Western Hemisphere. He loved them, and he cared for them, and he taught us what to do. He shared with us his best treasure, his Catholic faith. And so we honor him, we honor his mission, we honor his presence in this community, and we ask you to bless all of us who gather here today. Blessed be God, now and forever. Amen. Please be seated. I have introductions to do, and I have a whole bunch of things to say. You know I'm never without words. But Governor SISOLAK has to leave early, so I'm going to introduce the governor with a very quick story, and then the governor will speak and be on his way. We thank you so much for coming down to be with us today. I have to tell you, the bishop is unaware of this story, but when COVID was beginning, Bob Bilbray is a friend of the governor. He's a member of our parish, and the churches were being
Yep.
better?
Yes.
The churches were being closed and kept closed, and I wanted to do something about it. So I sent the governor some emails, saying, we need to open the rural churches. And Bob was talking to the governor on the phone, and he said, have you gotten the emails from Father Charlie? And the governor said, yes. And Bob said to him, is Father Charlie persistent, or is he annoying? The governor said, Bob, you're annoying. Father Charlie is persistent. Governor SISOLAK.
Thank you. And Father, you are persistent. You're never annoying. Bob's another story, though. We'll leave that for another day. Good afternoon, and thank you all very much for being here. I really appreciate the invitation. Bishop to come down and Father to be here with you for such a special day. I am your governor, the 30th governor of the great state of Nevada, and it's very special to me to be part of this dedication of the Garces Center today. As governor, I am blessed to travel across the state of Nevada and attend events, but this one is very personal for me. Some of you know, but those of you who do not know, I'm a lifelong Catholic, and being invited to be here with you today is truly an honor for me. I want to thank Father Charlie and everyone for inviting me to be here. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stay for the entire ceremony. I'm flying back up to Carson City this afternoon. They're taking me from here to McCarran to get on a flight to go back up to Reno and then drive to Carson City. But we rearranged my schedule so that I could be here for at least part of the dedication because this is such a wonderful facility and it's so important to me. I'm so glad that construction on this very important project was able to continue during COVID-19 pandemic. Although I know there were still some challenges, we're all able to be here today, so we have a lot to be thankful for, and we are blessed to be here today in this situation. I'm equally grateful to all the faithful who had to adjust how they practiced their faith during the pandemic so we could all stay safe. My mother is a lifelong Catholic, will be 95 years old this month. I will pass on your congratulations. And it was difficult for her. The highlights of her life are going to church and seeing her grandkids. And it was difficult when she couldn't go to church, and she got very proficient at using her iPad and being able to watch Mass online. So now she's even able to go to Mass more regularly because she has access to the iPad. And she really enjoys that. And I know you all made incredible sacrifices, as did the church during this time, and we appreciate your help to try to keep everyone safe. This is a beautiful, incredible center that we're in today. And I'm so excited for all the church and community events that are going to be held here and the memories that are going to be made here. It's just terrific. But when it comes to our faith, we know it's not about the physical building that we're in. It's not about the bricks and mortar. Our community is strong because of our connections to one another, because of our personal relationships. Those connections stay with us no matter where we are. The pandemic strengthened that lesson for many of us, myself included. During the darkest days of the pandemic, when decision-making felt impossible, I turned to my faith to help me make decisions. When we had to make decisions to shut down the Las Vegas Strip and to unfortunately have to put people out of work, I prayed on those decisions. And I'm not ashamed to say in the morning I get down on my knees and pray for guidance, for strength, for patience, and for the grace to try to do a good job as your governor. I know you're not here to listen to me speak, but I have one more thing to ask you before I head back to my seat. If you have not gotten the vaccine, please consider doing so for yourself, for your family, for the church. It is so important that we keep our jobs, that we keep businesses open, that we keep our religious institutions open, and that will allow us to all stay safe and to stay healthy. If you have questions, please consult with your doctor and get the advice that you feel would be appropriate. We all want to continue more events like this and to be together. Again, I want to thank Father Charlie and the Bishop for allowing me to be here and to say just a few words. And I am so proud to be your governor. And all I can say, just like them, is God bless you all. And you are in my prayers every day. God bless you.
You all received a program book when you came in. We decided instead of just handing out a printed program, we would give you a photo album of photos around our area, but it does contain the printed program in there as well. If you look into the program book, not right now, but when you get home, there are 4 pages of very small print, 12-point type, thank yous. And that doesn't even cover it all. But there's 4 pages in the book. However, I do want to single out some people who are here, and I just want to mention a few words about them. So just indulge me for a few minutes here. First, I want to thank our Bishop, George Leo Thomas, for coming down. Bishop, please stand up so people can see. grateful for his leadership. And by the way, I should explain, I don't have the bishop and the governor sitting up on the stage, not because I don't want competition. I just figured it'd be easier if you're all down there, and then the person on the stage can take off his mask and do that. So please feel free when you come up to speak to do that. Bishop Thomas has been unwaveringly supportive of this project. And we are very, very grateful, and I'm honored that it's the first building in our Diocese of Las Vegas to bear the name of Father Francisco Garces. And I hope that that keeps not only his memory, but his spirit. The Bishop will speak with us later. The Governor I've already introduced, and he's spoken. We really appreciate you taking the time in your schedule to come all the way down here. Both the Bishop were in the most southernmost parish in your diocese, Governor, we're in the most southernmost town in your state. So we're glad that you both made the visit down to us. I would be very remiss if I did not mention Father John McShane. Please, John. The only reason we're here today is because of Father John. He founded our parish in 1992. He's been a loyal friend since 1992 with me. I've known him that long, and he's been a wonderful resource for our parish. He also shares my love for Father Francisco Garces, and I suspect that I got it from him. So I thank you very much, and I'm going to just tell one quick story, and that is whenever any of the parishioners, especially the older ones, in our parish say, "Oh, you remind me of Father McShane," that is the biggest compliment anyone down here can give me. We have Deacon Dan McHugh and his wife Pixie. Would you please stand? Deacon Dan not only is our parish deacon, but he was on our building committee. He took charge of this building like, I don't know, all I know was on Christmas Eve 2 years ago, he was dragging me out to look at carpet for a building that wasn't even put up yet. He wanted to find the right carpet. No, I don't want to go to Home Depot on Christmas Eve. I don't. He really took that seriously, and Dan has guided us through this process so very much. You'll hear more about that from Dan later on. Deacon Richard is here, and his wife Sandy. Deacon Richard's up front. Deacon Richard was also on our building committee, and he has spent timeless hours not only for this building, but for doing all sorts of stuff around the parish. After I had my stroke and I couldn't drive, Deacon Richard took over the communion calls and would visit the parishioners regularly and still continues doing that. I'm very, very grateful for that. Steve Fortier is not here, but his wife is, so if Sharon Fortier would stand up. Steve is our business manager, and he's also a member of the building committee, and he was on the building committee for the church. So for 18 years ago, he was at that dedication as a member of the building committee. Arlene Plant, who's sitting in the middle over there. Stand up, Arlene. Arlene is on the building committee for this building, and she was on the building committee for the church 18 years ago. Arlene also has a unique distinction, and I hesitate mentioning this in front of the bishop, but in the diocese it's normal that only a priest can sign the checks of the parish. And we were down here by ourselves for so long that Arlene, we asked special permission for Arlene to be on our checking account, so should anything ever happen to me or my hand, Arlene could sign the checks. So you're unique in the Diocese of Las Vegas, and we're very grateful for that. We had a call on that. I don't think he made it up here, but is Father Henry here from Needles? There you are. I have a seat in the front for you. Father Henry is a member of the Congregation of the Resurrection. He's the pastor of St. Anne's in Needles, and he is my closest priest on this side of the river. He's in another diocese in another state, but he's only about 25 miles away from me. My nearest priest in the Diocese of Las Vegas is Boulder City, and that's more than 90 miles. So Father Henry, very grateful that you're here this morning. Todd Vitalago is here. Todd, please stand up. Todd is the architect of this building. We could not be happier with the building and with the process of working with Todd. Unbelievable, and we are so grateful. We're so grateful you took the time to come down and be with us today. Your building, our building now, is really perfect. And you had all the good ideas and gave us great advice, and even when we went to you with what seemed impossible things, you solved them. Thank you so much for that. Daniel Markham is here, is also sitting up. Please stand. There you go. Daniel is going to be the author of a book, 52 Masses. He's attending Mass in 52 churches, 50 states, Puerto Rico, and D.C., and we're the church chosen to represent Nevada. So we're very grateful he's here. He was supposed to come in February of 2 years ago, but because of the virus didn't come. So when he called and said, I can come on October 10th, I said, great, we'll have the bishop and the governor for you. So we're very grateful to have you down here. Dr. Brian Paulson. Brian Paulson is our former town manager and a really good friend. He has been an invaluable help when we were starting out on this project, and he certainly remains a very good friend to our parish and to me personally. We have a whole group from the Knights of Columbus. I think most of them are sitting over there. If they could stand, please. Not only our council, but all. Provided the color guard, our council 12690, the 4th degree, the various state representatives. We appreciate them coming down and taking their time. This is a special weekend for them. Columbus Day weekend is the anniversary for their patron, Christopher Columbus, and they're spending it with us. We appreciate that so very much. We have some members of our St. John's Guild here. They're scattered. If they could stand. I know you're here. So very much for us, and we're very grateful for all they do. I believe we have one member of our town advisory board, Hiram Walker. Are you here?
Herman.
I don't see you. Hi.
Herman?
I don't. Any members of the town advisory board here besides? Okay. We thank them for what they have given us. How about Laughlin Chamber of Commerce? Anybody from them? Stand. All right. We're grateful again for their support in the process. How about the Colorado River Food Bank? Right there. Our favorite charity in town. Jordan Ross and his wife are here, our constable. And in the back, he's standing up already. I suspect James Brzezinski does our videos. He puts on my Thursday show. He does all sorts of things around here. We're very grateful. Ron Laughlin and Tom Gannon from L&M are either one? All right. They took care of providing a lot of guidance on our kitchen, and we're very grateful for that. Then I have to single out some women. Particularly Trish Nevius, Maureen Mullen, Terry Sheehan, and Linda Wish. I know that at least 3 of them are here. Stand up. Trish is over there. They put together all of those program books. That's 20 pictures each, times 250 books, times 13 pages of writing. Plus the little kits you'll get as a gift at the end. Thank you so much for all they've done. But I have to mention a couple of family groups by name. Robert Bilbray and his daughter Ashlyn. They would stand. Parishioners, but they have been unfailingly supportive of this building project. And Bob took the most amazing drone videos of this building. If you were here a little bit early, you watched it on our big screen. He posts them regularly on his page in Facebook. He's been a wonderful advertiser for this. And as Bob said to me, he said, over the past 9 months, watching this building go up, I have spent more time at church than I ever had. So we're very grateful that you did spend the time with us, and we appreciate that. And he has done all sorts of things for us. We appreciate it. Tom and Miranda Boren, stand up. And they brought with them, I think Terrence and Mendel are there with them. Tim Ball. Tom and Miranda have developed the same love for Father Garces that I have, and they show it in so many ways. I mean, you'll see in a little while, if you haven't looked in our Garces room, there are nearly 120.4-pound stones. They lugged them, they washed them, they shellacked them, and they set them in place. They put up the mural with the help of Terry over there. We appreciate that. They did all sorts of wonderful things that we really appreciate. The most memorable for me is last year on the 4th of March, the very day anniversary of Father Garces leaving our community and heading west heading west, he was going west, on the old Mojave Trail. They took me out on that trail for 25 miles in a Jeep. I will never, ever forget that journey. And if the bishop ever bothers me or the governor, I'm going to send you out on a Jeep 25 miles into the desert. I don't know how Father Garces did it, but he did. Dan and Margaret Gabaldon.
Oh, there.
Danny can do anything with wood, unbelievable. Nothing is impossible. Margaret can do anything with organization. Nothing is impossible. And they're original parishioners. They were here when Father McShane was here. They signed the petition to get the bishop at that time to give us a priest. So we're very grateful for that. And also going back to that same period, Joanne Ponzi is here. Goes back to the time of Father McShane, and actually she not only signed the petition, she was out there gathering names for the petition. So we're very, very grateful. That's enough for me. I've talked too much, you know that already. I'm going to stop over there. I would like to ask author Daniel Markham to tell us a little bit about his 52 Masses project.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for including me in this special event. I'm not sure I'm worthy of it, so I'll do my best to keep it brief. As Father said, my name is Daniel Markham. I'm here at St. John the Evangelist Parish, part of my book project I'm undertaking called 52 Masses. Father Charlie has graciously invited me to say a few words about it. In the summer of 2016, after having dropped off my son at high school soccer practice when he was a freshman, I was blessed with the idea of attending Mass in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico, writing about something taking place at each of the locations I visited. It could be the parishes involved in a unique ministry, has found an effective way of teaching the faith to our young people, or simply about the Mass itself. For instance, in Newtown, Connecticut, I was invited to visit St. Rose of Lima to learn and write about how the parish has helped the community recover from the tragedy of the Sandy Hook shooting. 8 of the children who died in the shooting were St. Rose parishioners. Led by the tireless work of Father Bob, the church was instrumental in comforting Newtown, both the evening of the shooting when it held an impromptu community-wide Mass and the weeks and months to come. In St. Louis, I will attend Mass at St. Peter St. Paul Parish. For 40 years now, the parish has operated a homeless shelter in the basement of the church. From that has developed an entire model of dealing with poverty and other issues in the city, a model that other communities across the United States have learned and borrowed from. And in the tiny town of Minto, North Dakota, just this past week, I spent the weekend with the women of St. Gianna's Maternity Home. At St. Gianna's, at-risk women who have chosen to give birth, often in the face of pressure to abort from outside forces, are welcomed both during pregnancy and up to 2 years after. where the love and respect they are treated with will carry them and their child through their ultimate return to the larger world. The staff, along with Father Joseph, are truly doing important work, and it was a blessing to see that firsthand. The idea behind all of these visits is to simply show the many ways we are living our faith as Catholics. As part of my project, I will visit parishes populated by different ethnicities or age groups or economic statuses. We are diverse people, and there's strength in that diversity, but we remain one body. In 2019, I was invited by Father Charlie to come attend my first Mass in a casino. I was intrigued by the idea, but I soon found there was so much more to the parish than sharing worship space with musical and comedy acts. I had originally intended to begin this project in January of this year and conclude it back at my home parish, at the time in Indiana, at Christmas, fittingly Nativity of Our Savior. 52 weeks in a year, 52 Masses. Obviously, COVID laughed at such hubris. So when things began opening up in the spring, I told my publisher I was simply going to get started in June and go to Mass wherever I could. St. John's represents my 17th visit so far. Ultimately, all these stories will be compiled in my book. It's my dearest hope that by sharing these stories, big and small, I will be able to paint a larger picture of life in the Catholic Church in the United States and all that makes it special. I also hope that people see that most of these stories are ones that all Catholics can respect and agree upon, and that whatever our differences may be, there's far more that unites us in faith. After the ceremony is over, if anyone would like to speak to me and learn a little bit more, or share stories about your parish and share stories about your faith life, I would love to take the time to talk to you. I just want to thank Father Charlie for inviting me. I will pray for him and the people of the parish in the days and years to come.
The book is going to be fascinating. I'm looking forward to it coming out probably the end of next year. Deacon Dan McHugh is going to give us a quick overview of the building. He's not going to use videos, but he'll use words to paint that picture.
Good afternoon. Well, first I have to tell you I did bring a pair of scissors with me, but about 50% of what I'm going to talk about, he already did. So
I have black edge markers.
if you hear me do a pause, you'll know it has something to do with me asking somebody to stand up for their accolades. So, Father Charlie asked me to say a few words about the ideas of planning, design, and the ultimate development of the new Garces Center. I'm so proud of the finished product and pleased with all those involved in making it happen. I will try to recognize a few of you today. He already did it. But Father Charlie did a terrific job on the souvenir photo book, and you'll find out in there all of you that took a part in building this center at one stage or another. So look the list over and feel like you've been recognized. At ParishCon, this is kind of at the beginning, the genesis of how everything started with the concept as well as the development of the Garces Center. So at a parish council meeting back in 2016, Father Charlie planted the seed for a new building to handle all the needs for storage and especially places for us to meet. Father put together an ad hoc committee. You were introduced to him just a minute ago. Arlene Plant, and Father Charlie as our leader, and Deacon Richard, and Steve Fortier is not here today, but we got to know each other fairly often and fairly well. And when we had decisions to make, we came to consensus on it. So there wasn't a division in anything we did. We did seek a lot of advice from our architect, and I always have a smile on my face when Father says that, you know, we had a choice to make, and it was one of the easiest choices we ever had to make. And we were just so blessed to have a man who's so personable, professional, and easy to work with. So Todd, thank you very much. See, I gotta... 2016 through 2017, we had concluded we would do a steel structure and match the masonry exterior to that of the church. Many floor plans were drawn up and many time changes were made, even after the plans were drawn. I got an okay from our architect on that. Early in 2018, the diocese gave us the name of, there we go. Thanks, Todd. So after a few months of tweaking the plans and drawings, we signed off, and Todd took over with his drawings and started working with the Clark County for building permits. You know, the time frame between 2016 to the time that we finished in 2020 seems like a long time, but when you go through the process of design concept and what our needs are, and we put those down on paper, and then we get a professional like Todd to make it work, we end up with this beautiful kind of a layout. And so we want to thank the bishop for recommending, I guess that's the way. So, you know, I haven't done a homily in quite a while because Charlie did such great homilies, so this feels natural. Anyways, that occurred when he took the plans to Clark County in August in 2018. The building committee went right to work visiting Lowe's for carpeting and other floor coverings, and met many times to view samples for colors, etc. By the spring of 2019, we were comparing bids between 6 builders, settling on a builder who was relatively new to the diocese, DC Building Company out of Las Vegas. Their representation of their company, especially in their company office staff and the on-site supervision, were capable and experienced and did a fine job keeping their subcontractors on schedule. The diocese took over the finishing touches, Bishop, for the paperwork. We didn't have to get into the contract, and so the diocese took that over for us. That was in August of 2019. By the end of the year, we finally signed the contract. The builder moved in and set up overflow parking area as a staging area job site. Their normal operations were somewhat different because of the pandemic restrictions, but they did well with managing that. 2 months after they arrived on site, they had shut down to get some underground utility issues resolved that we all thought and understood would be a short period of time. Turned out to be 4 months, and they started back up in mid-January of 2020. The real job got underway. During the construction, many people were photographing both on the ground and overhead. Father, you took that one too. So we like to give thanks to Bob Bilbray for his drone work and the beautiful pictures he donated to the church. Thank you, Bob. Another person that's responsible for all of our audio video, what we saw while we were waiting here, and you got introduced to James Brzezinski, who's back there. He's not only a professional, he does things meticulously, and they get done right. And you'll probably notice that when you watch these Sunday masses and the little things that pop out of the walls and down from the ceilings, and the signs and the flags and all of that. James is back there. He'll be standing for the whole time. Thank you, James. So the building was virtually done by October of 2020 and officially by mid-November. At that point, parishioners were involved in the interior design work. That entailed getting the appliances, the furniture, the shelving, and many other things put together and arranged. Father Charlie had his own little crew, helping him with the beautiful Garces Heritage Room. And here we are today to formally dedicate the Garces Center in the presence of our governor and our bishop. But we're proud of the first facility to recognize Father Francisco Garces for his discovery of this part of the country back in the 18th century. To close this up, I want to make sure that I thank Father Charlie for being such a good shepherd. His dedication to leave the future with this wonderful facility is just one thing he has contributed. His dedication to take on roles with other parishes and how well he reaches out to those in need and impresses everyone. I'm truly proud to serve under his leadership. Thank you, Father. So thank you for letting me share this development journey with you. I really enjoyed the experience. God bless you all.
So now we know that Deacon Dan and I do not read one another's material beforehand. And I think Lowe's and Home Depot look very much alike, so I can get mixed up. Some of you know my brother Michael is a songwriter and singer, and he debuted a new song last weekend in Panama City, Florida. I don't remember the title of it, although he has sung it to me. And I said, oh, I'm debuting a song this weekend. And he laughed. I'm not singing it, that's why you'll stay for it. But we decided that Father Garces should have a song. And so we'll have help from God, from Sheila, from LUANN, from John Del Quacho, the deacon over across the river. We have pieced together a song honoring Father Garces. And this is the first time it's going to be sung publicly.
This is also the first time he'll be hearing it. He wanted something simple and different. You got different. You got way different. Okay. Do you remember your part? Yes. All right. We're going to go on a musical journey along the route that Father Francisco Garces took, soon to be Saint Father Charlie gets his way. Okay, maestro. Viva Jesus was his greeting. Viva Jesus was his prayer. Only preaching, always teaching, always seeking God's love to share. Never doubting, never boasting, always smiling everywhere. Named Francisco, like the founder, a true brother to all he met. Father Garces loved the people of every place and tribe he met. From Spanish Cadiz to Veracruz, aboard Jupiter 100 days, then overland to Querétaro, the young Franciscan made his way, then to San Xavier in Sonora, amid the heat of summer days, to find a route across this vast land, and on the blue Pacific soon to gaze.
In March of 1776, he did cross the Colorado's flow, being first from distant Europe to see where Nevada would grow, as he and his trusted companions walked the long Mojave Trail. Viva Jesus was his greeting, Viva Jesus was his prayer. Humbly preaching, always teaching, always seeking God's love to share. Never doubting, never boasting, always smiling everywhere. At La Purísima Concepcion, in the summer of '81, Father Garces and his companions were called home to rest with God. They had served him in his people, and now they'll rest eternally. They were welcomed in their gray robes to peace and tranquility. May we follow Father Garces all the days that we shall live. May we share his loving service to our God and all that is. Viva Jesus was his greeting, Viva Jesus was his prayer. Humbly preaching, always teaching, always seeking God's love to share. Never doubting, never boasting, always smiling everywhere. Viva Jesus!
It's the first time I heard it sung. Thank you, Luann. Thank you, Sheila, so very much. And just in case somebody didn't follow, Viva Jesus was Father Garces' greeting. He was sometimes even called that by the Indians. Oh, he's the one who said, Viva Jesus. It means Jesus lives. What a wonderful greeting, and he brought it to our area. We've done a lot of talking, we've done a lot of singing, and the bishop has been sitting there very patiently. Bishop Thomas, it is your turn.
It was a very special day, both in the parish and in the Diocese of Las Vegas. Father Charlie, this building symbolizes what I describe as visionary leadership from you. A priest with big dreams, boundless energy, a dedicated ministry, and such deep love for you, the people of this faith community. Father Charlie, I thank you personally. The Garces Parish Center is a testimony to your leadership, to your creativity, your intrepid spirit, and your capacity for surrounding yourself with dedicated, talented, wise, faith-filled parishioners and community leaders. Father Charlie, it doesn't get much better. Thank you. The name you've chosen for the center is significant for the residents of the region, but also for the whole state. March 3, 1776, Father Garces enters now what is called Laughlin, Nevada, becoming the first Catholic priest to sojourn in this region, making this, of course, the birthplace of the Catholic faith in the state of Nevada. I want to call your attention to the significant date that marks Father Garces' travels to this place, March 3, 1776. On either side of that date, 75, 6, and 7, Momentous changes were taking place on both sides of the continent. May of 1775 marked the beginning of the American Revolution and the drafting of the Declaration of Independence at the Second Continental Congress. June 11, 1776. Adams, Franklin, Jefferson, Livingston, Sherman, all appointed to prepare the Declaration, Independence from Great Britain, and commissioned Thomas Jefferson to prepare that first draft. And of course, July 4th of 1776. A formal parchment was readied for signature. 61 patriots fixing their signatures on that famed document. And with the eventual success of the American Revolution, they ushered in a new age and a new nation. There was an unfettered appetite for travel, trade, and exploration on both sides of the continent. As Father Garces traversed the territory from Sonora to California, there was another explorer on the other side of the continent, exploring the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia to the Ohio River and giving birth to the main route of traffic to the west. Of course, his name, Daniel Boone. And in 1777, the famed mission of San Juan Capistrano was completed, and on June 14th of that year, Congress authorized the Stars and Stripes, the official flag with 13 stripes, alternating red and white, and 13 white stars on a field of blue, representing a newborn nation. It is entries from Father Garces' own diary indicating that he departed Mission San Xavier near present-day Tucson in 1775. And by the latter part of February 1776, he and his companions reached the Mojave villages located on the banks of the Colorado. Father Garces traveled into areas never before seen by non-Native Americans, by non-natives. Upon his return, he again visited the Mojave villages in the same vicinity in 1776. This was a period marked by relative peace and stability, but within a few short years, all of that changed. It was on July 19th in 1781, there was a violent revolt against the Spanish forces. Father Garces was killed near the Immaculate Conception Mission near Huma Crossing. Documents tell us that his body was interred in the Franciscan Church, the Colegio de la Santa Cruz in Carrera, Mexico. That you have chosen to name this beautiful place after him, your namesake, is so highly significant. His life was marked by undaunted courage, courage that gave him the ability to leave home and hearth in security and safety in order to spread the name of Jesus into the New World. His life was marked by zeal for the gospel, a passion for adventure, abiding love and respect for the Native American, and a level of self-sacrifice that eventually cost him his very life. I would say to you and to your pastor and all the people here, be proud of this name of your parish center. But more importantly, let it stir within you a spirit of missionary discipleship, that you might also inspire others to know and love and serve the Lord Jesus. On this momentous day, a grateful diocese says to your pastor, congratulations, Father Charlie. Congratulations, St. John the Baptist Parish, ad multos annos, and blessings and peace to all who are gathered here in this place. Blessings and peace that may continue today, tomorrow, in all the years to come. On behalf of a grateful diocese and in the name of Father Garces, Viva Jesus.
Thank you so much, Bishop Thomas, for your beautiful words and, more importantly, for your presence of being here. We don't have a cornerstone in this building, but we do have about 100 20-pound stones in the Father Garces Heritage Room. And they represent almost 100 families from our parish and friends who have signed those stones. Now they're mounted so you can't see what they wrote on them, but we're putting out a booklet in the room of what's on the back of the stones. We took pictures of all of them, and Tommy mounted them in that room. There were 3 stones that remained, and Governor SISOLAK signed one of those stones. I'm going to ask Bishop Thomas if you would sign another one of those stones, and then Father McShane and I are going to share a stone. The first one who was here to the present one who's here when this building goes up. Please take the time to go into the Father Francisco Garces Heritage Room behind me. The stones are there. We'll be adding 3 stones to that soon. There's a beautiful mural of Horseshoe Bend in the Colorado River, and right next to it is Father Garces' map showing that he had seen that in the 1700s. We're very, very grateful that we get to see on the wall what he sees. And also there's a mannequin. There are no pictures of Father Garces. And he wasn't famous enough to have been painted. So we really don't know what he looks like. We now do. So we'll go in there. He was 37 years old when he visited Laughlin. That's a 37-year-old. And our closing thing, and we'd ask you to stand for this, our favorite song down here is the river song, Shall We Gather at the River? And it's particularly significant because Father Garces named the Colorado River. That's why we can sing the song. So with a lot of gusto, in honor of Father Garces in this building, please let's join in the river song.